Imagine waking up after you had done months of research on the D7 visa for moving to Portugal and the D7 visa has changed. Well, that's what just happened to thousands of people. As of November 2022, a new remote workers visa will be issued by consulates, which has differences from the D7 visa. Some people are referring to it as the digital nomad visa, and there are going to be two types of this visa. But before we get to that, what if you're actually a remote worker but are already in Portugal on the D7? Now what? If you already have your residency on the D7 visa and are working here as a remote worker or freelancer, you won't have to do anything. There's no need to try to shift to this new visa. So what is the difference between the two? Applying is very similar as far as requirements go, but you'll need a few different documents and your financial structure is noteworthy. While they are looking for stability, there's going to be an equation for those who don't make the same amount of money month by month. Like we mentioned, this visa is going to have two types. One option is a 1-year temporary stay visa with the option to extend. The other is a 2-year temporary residency visa that can be extended with a statement from your company or for freelancers with your contracts. Taxes will be different between the two. Now, the temporary stay visa is still new and consulates are still figuring out how to process them. The drastic change between this remote worker visa and the D7 is proof of finances. The D7 monthly requirement is pegged to the minimum wage in Portugal over 12 months, while the remote workers visa is 4 times the amount of minimum wage on a monthly basis in the last 3 months before applying. More on that in a minute. Currently, the minimum wage is €705, so why would someone choose this new visa? You might not have a choice. Just like the D7 visa, the consulates will vary on what they require. If you're doing the 1-year temporary stay visa, then you won't have a SEF appointment when you arrive to Portugal. You will, however, need a return flight. For the 2-year residency visa, a return flight isn't technically necessary, but we do know of some consulates requiring it. Again, consulates can choose how they want to process visas. With this visa, you will go to a SEF appointment once you're in Portugal. Now, if you're planning to move with a spouse or children, you might be wondering if each person needs 4 times the amount of minimum wage. The good news is they are keeping the percentages of the D7 and applying them here, which means one adult will need 4 times the amount of minimum wage, but the second adult in the family will only need 50% of the national minimum wage, and each child after that 30% of minimum wage. So not the percentages for dependents pegged to the 4 times amount, but pegged to minimum wage. Consulates will issue visas for families at the same time, which is good news because appointments for family reunification visas are backed up. To apply as a family, you have to submit proof of finances. Who qualifies as family and who can apply with you? Those over 65 years old qualify with dependents who don't earn a salary and or are enrolled in university up until around the age of 25. You will need to provide proof of dependency. You'll need to show 3 months worth of income from bank statements, and for those of you who don't make the same amount every month, no worries, because they will take the average of those 3 months. So as long as you hit the minimum amount on average for 3 months before applying, you'll be fine. So really, besides the monthly amount, there doesn't seem to be much different. But wait, there's more. You are working, so this means you need proof of that. When you apply, you need to submit proof like a job contract, a statement from your employer, a service agreement, a freelance statement, and things like that. It's okay if you're not living in your home country. You can apply from where you are, but only if you have proof of being a fiscal resident there. You will need to submit this proof with your application. You'll need at least 1 year of residency in that country to use the consular services to file for your Portuguese visa. Now here's the kicker, the most important thing you need to take away from comparing the two visas. You might have been asking yourself, which one would I rather apply for? I think the D7 makes the most sense because of the lower financial requirement, but you might not actually get the choice. In the past, you could apply for the D7 visa with active income, but now if you're planning to move to Portugal and don't have passive income, then you have to go to this new visa. And you can't do a mix. It's either active or passive. So if you're looking to retire and live off of passive income, then stick with the D7 visa. If you're working, then the remote visa is the one for you. So those with jobs, it's no longer possible for the D7 visa, but you have to do the remote worker visa. The rollout has been slow, and some consulates have still issued D7 visas on the terms of the remote worker visas. This means you need to decide, is your income passive or active? This will determine which visa you can now apply for. If you're ready to apply, we have a couple options for you, but if you're not ready, then don't worry, you have to watch this video right here to prepare yourselves. If you are ready, then you can apply yourself, but if you would like a little bit of assistance, DIY, a little bit of guidance, then we have a course for you in the description below. If you want more help, then you can email us and we'll connect you with the relocation service. It'll be a little costlier, but they'll help with everything. Now let's get moving.